Reflect in English podcast.
It was early morning when Sarah sat by her small window. The sun was just coming up and the sky was light pink. She had a cup of tea on her table and her phone next to it. Every day for the past 10 days, she had listened to the same song. It was her favorite song, but before she never understood all the words. Sarah was from a small town near the coast. She worked at a bakery on the main street. Her days were always busy. She woke up before sunrise, took the bus, and spent hours making bread and cakes. When she came home, she was tired, but she always played her favorite song before going to bed. It made her feel calm. The song was in English, and she wanted to understand it better. Sarah was learning English by herself. She used a small notebook to write down new words. On the first day, she wrote the title of the song, Shine Again. Day 1. She listened to the song 3 times. The music was slow and soft. The singer's voice was warm. Sarah could catch only a few words. She wrote them down. Light, again, dream, morning. She searched for the lyrics online, but many lines were too hard. She decided to learn only the chorus. It repeated many times, and she liked how it sounded. The first line was, "You will shine again in the morning light." Sarah smiled when she read it. She liked that image. She wrote it carefully in her notebook. Day 2. The next day, she listened again before work. She tried to sing a little, but she forgot some words. On the bus, she whispered the chorus quietly. The man sitting next to her smiled. "Nice song," he said. Sarah laughed shyly and said, "Yes, I am learning it." When she arrived at the bakery, the smell of fresh bread filled the room. Her boss, Mrs. Green, was already there. "Morning, Sarah. You look happy today," Mrs. Green said. "I am learning a song," Sarah replied. "Oh, really? What song?" "Shine Again. It is in English. I like the chorus." "That's great," said Mrs. Green. "You can sing it while we bake. It will make the bread happier." Sarah laughed. The idea sounded funny, but that morning, as she mixed the dough, she quietly sang the first line again and again. Day 3. Sarah listened to the song during her lunch break. She used her earphones and watched the lyrics video. She repeated the chorus line by line. She noticed that her pronunciation was not perfect, but it was getting better. That night, she told her friend Lisa about it on the phone. Lisa said, "10 days to learn one song? That's a lot of work." "I know," Sarah said, "but I really want to understand it." Lisa laughed. "Okay, when you finish, you have to sing it for me." "Deal," Sarah said. Day 4. The day was rainy. The sky was gray, and the sound of water filled the streets. Sarah stayed home after work. She made some soup and sat by the window. She listened to the song again and repeated each line aloud. At first, she made mistakes, but slowly she got better. She didn't feel bored. The melody was still beautiful after many times. She could now sing half of the chorus without looking at her notebook. Day 5. At the bakery, the oven broke down. Everyone was worried because customers were waiting. The repairman came and fixed it, but it took 3 hours. When they finally finished baking, it was late afternoon. Mrs. Green sighed. "What a day," she said. Sarah smiled and said, "Yes, but we finished. It's okay." She started humming her song. Mrs. Green looked at her. "You still have energy to sing?" Sarah nodded. "The song helps me." Mrs. Green laughed. "Then sing louder. Maybe it will fix the oven next time." Day 6. Sarah was tired that evening, but she didn't skip her practice. She listened once before dinner, then again before bed. She closed her eyes and tried to understand every word. She noticed that she could finally catch more than before. The chorus now made sense to her. The singer was talking about hope and new beginnings. The words were simple, but they felt honest. Sarah whispered, "You will shine again in the morning light." She smiled. It sounded nice. Day 7. Lisa came to visit her at the bakery. "So, how's your song?" Lisa asked while eating a small cupcake. "I almost know the whole chorus," Sarah said proudly. "Let me hear it." Sarah looked around shyly. 2 customers were sitting by the window. Mrs. Green was in the back. Sarah took a deep breath and sang the chorus softly. Lisa clapped. "That was good! You sound confident." Sarah laughed. "Not perfect, but better." Day 8. That evening, Sarah decided to record herself. She used her phone and sang along with the music. When she listened to her voice, she laughed. It sounded strange, but not bad. She noticed that some words were still unclear. She practiced each word carefully. She repeated shine, morning, light, again and again. Then she sang the chorus 5 times until she felt sure. Day 9. She listened to the song on her walk home. The sun was low, and the air smelled of bread and rain. Children were playing near the street. Sarah hummed quietly, matching the beat of her steps to the rhythm of the song. At one corner, she passed a man playing guitar. He was singing another song, but the sound made her smile. Music always made the city feel alive. When she reached home, she cooked dinner and listened again. She no longer needed the lyrics. She understood them all. Day 10. The next morning was bright and clear. It was Sarah's day off. She woke up later than usual and opened her window. The wind moved the curtains softly. She made coffee and sat on her chair with her phone. She pressed play. The familiar melody started. This time, something felt different. She understood every word in the chorus. She didn't have to think. She just sang. Her voice filled the small room. She sang louder than before. She didn't care if the neighbors heard her. "You will shine again in the morning light," she sang, smiling. "You will find your way through the dark of night." The sound of her own voice surprised her. She felt free. When the song ended, she played it again. She sang along perfectly. After that, she called Lisa. "I did it," Sarah said. "I can sing the whole chorus." Lisa laughed. "Really? That's amazing." Sarah nodded. "Every word. I understand it now." Mrs. Green called her later that morning to ask if she could come to the bakery for a few hours. Sarah agreed. She put on her jacket, took her earphones, and listened again on the bus. She sang softly as she looked out the window. The city passed by, people walking, cars moving, sunlight on the buildings. Everything felt calm and bright. When she entered the bakery, Mrs. Green noticed her happy face. "Good mood today?" "Yes," Sarah said. "I finished learning my song." Mrs. Green smiled. "Then we'll have a good day. Sing it while we bake." Sarah laughed and agreed. They worked together, kneading dough, shaping loaves, and filling trays. The air was warm with the smell of flour and sugar. Sarah sang the chorus while she worked, her voice clear and steady. Mrs. Green joined in, repeating the last line even though she didn't know the tune well. Both of them laughed. By the end of the morning, the bakery was full of music and the scent of fresh bread. Customers came and smiled when they heard the singing. Later that day, when Sarah walked home, she felt light inside. The song played in her head without the phone. She could hear every word clearly. She thought about the 10 days she had spent, listening, repeating, and learning. It had not been easy, but it was worth it. She stopped at a small park near her apartment. Children were running around. A man sat on a bench reading a newspaper. The wind moved the trees softly. She sat down and took out her phone again. She pressed play one more time. As the chorus started, she sang out loud, not too fast, not too slow. Her voice mixed with the sound of the leaves and distant traffic. "You will shine again in the morning light," she sang. You will find your way through the dark of night. When the song ended, she smiled and whispered, "Yes, I will." She stood up and walked home. The day was still bright. The air smelled fresh. The music stayed with her, clear, warm, and full of joy.